in the 2000s is really when she really 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 hit her stride. The business going. She started like O Magazine. She started the Oprah Winfrey Network.
Own.
Oh
Yes. And that's
yes,
another vertical integration play
hmm
where it's, oh, okay, so I can produce my own shows, I can star in my own shows, but they still have to go somewhere
yeah.
to be played for the audience.
Mhm.
What if I own that too?
What if I own that? And the name on, I mean, own is perfect, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and so that would launched right after she finished her daytime talk show.
Something
Um,
else with the talk show that people may not put the dots together.
yeah.
The two other famous examples, Dr. Phil was launched,
Yes. Yeah.
and Dr. Oz.
Yes.
Two really, and they're still around today,
Dr.
honestly.
Phil and Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Those were huge.
They still are.
Yeah.
They receive a little pushback for the kinds of shows they are, but you really can't deny how much success they've had in viewership and getting people's attention.
I mean, that format was
Yeah, the rage.
right. Um, so yeah, I mean, she saw a lot. So before starting on, she in May 25th, 2011, the show came to an end after 25 seasons, 4,561 episodes. At its peak, the show reached 10 to 20 million daily viewers, broadcast in 145 countries, won 47 daytime Emmys, generated over $2 billion in total revenue across its run.
Yeah. Yep. And then obviously during that time was the famous Pontiac G6.
Yeah, giveaway.
Yeah.
Which had its own controversy too.
I didn't realize that Pontiac paid for those cars.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was like an $8 million for like 300-ish cars.
And then the people had to pay taxes.
Well, they did, and I think that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
That's pretty normal. And they did, to give them some credit, they did offer a cash prize if they didn't want to pay the gift tax. So there was an option there. And I think that's more than reasonable.
Yeah.
If I'm giving you something, pay the tax on it.
Yeah.
But I can understand if some people don't want to do that.
Yeah. But yeah, you get a car. Like, and there's all these other cultural moments where, she introduced Obama on that show and gave a huge endorsement.
Just like the books, she was incredibly influential in moving the masses towards ideas and people.
Yeah. You saw, Tom Cruise jumping up and...
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah.
I'm in love.
There were so many iconic moments that were then played on like the news networks that were like, oh, look what happened on the Oprah show.
Yeah. So then in the Oprah Winfrey, it started out as a disaster. Low ratings, programming misfires, hemorrhaging money.
The network.
The Oprah Winfrey Network, Discovery absorbed approximately $330 million in losses during turnaround years.
Discovery was the company that they partnered with to put this on the networks.
Yeah. And then Oprah admitted to nearly having a nervous breakdown over her own struggles. Had I known that it was this difficult, I might have done something else. That's a line that a lot of founders say at one point in their journeys.
Yeah, what's the famous one is just chew glass and stare into the abyss.
Yeah, that's what Elon says, which is... I can see how people interpret it that way.
Most people wouldn't do it though.
Yeah.
If that was the case, most people wouldn't do it.
Yeah. And then a lot of it is the magnitude of the way that they're doing it at the time. It's not like it is today.
Right.
And I think that's a big thing to know. But she ended up partnering with Tyler Perry, and he created a lot of scripted dramas that delivered 2 to 3 million weekly viewers, and then eventually it became profitable about 4 years after the launch.
Yep.
And in 2020, she sold most of her Discovery stake in exchange for Warner Brothers Discovery shares. And I mean, she owns most of OWN.
Yeah.
Right now. And again, she's also navigated the business terrain pretty well. Again, like you were saying, that she's had some really good people behind her. And I think that that's a thing to always call out and highlight, is that the journey's not, gone out alone. It's something where there are a lot of people. Some people like to stay in the shadows and be like, hey, I'm chilling right here. But again, it's something that is really powerful.
Yeah. We can go into like some philanthropy.
Yeah.
I have like the one thing that I think drives Oprah, and something she talks about, is this calling to a higher energy.
Yeah.
some calling to a higher being. She calls it God, whatever it is. She really believes that you have to be in tune with that
Mm-hmm.
and figure out what your purpose is here on Earth, and then chase that relentlessly.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see a lot of that in the journey that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Is that like understand where you're at and where you're going, and the context of what's around you.
Yeah.
You know, to really make the most of what we have, and to recognize that like there is a higher power, and you know whatever you believe in, whatever you call it, there is something that is connecting all of us.
Yeah.
And
It's like you can't. I mean, you are severely handicapping yourself if you're trying to ignore that. That's the one thing that I've learned.
Yeah.
It's like you need to tap into all the things that are around you to really get the most out of it, and it ends up being the most, the most fruitful. Like there's so much. I mean, there's so much that we can get into around that.
It gets a little bit religious, I guess, or like not religious, maybe is the right word, or spiritual.
Spiritual, I think, is the
Would
word.
be a better word.
I think it's probably the better word, but I also think that it's a word that she would use because she asks her people when they come in there, like, "What's your spiritual practice?"
Yes.
I think something that's really cool is that the word spirit um, has that root of spire, like breath. And so
interesting.
your spirit, the way that I interpret it, is largely what moves you, what motivates you. Your breath is basically the thing that is always going. It's the thing that's your life force.
Yeah.
You know, and so what's that thing that keeps you, like, energizes you?
Inspired.
Yeah, what inspires you?
Yeah.
And I think that you having a spiritual practice that nurtures that is really, really important.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
100%.
I think there are stories that people get a lot of inspiration from, and they become religious about those stories and ritualistic about the stories. But I do think at the core of it is a spiritual,
an innate like
practice. Like that. I mean, if any living, breathing thing has a life force in them, you could see it. They're animated. They're alive. Right. So it's like, what do you do to nurture that? Yes. And I think that's really at the core of it, right? And I think that's something that she seems to really be in tune with, and I think that's really powerful. Do you talk about drive, and she talks about how she was like, I am not an interviewer.